Hello everyone. Tonight on Business Live, Parliament approves government's economic policy in a vote that was partisan. Will bring you up to speed. Also coming up tonight, founder of Unibank, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, and former CEO of UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amwabeng, have petitioned Parliament over the Bank of Ghana's revocation of their banking license. They are asking the legislature to investigate. We'll bring you up to speed on that one as well. Plus, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia launches 100-day countdown to the population and housing census. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us. We've got details right after this. And we've got our eyes on two big stories from Parliament. I want to go there right now, where MPs had to go through a head count to approve government's economic policy. Joining us is parliamentary correspondent Kwesi Parker-Wilson with the latest on the vote on the economic policy packet that was largely based on partisan lines. Bring us up to speed on the drama of this afternoon.
Right, so as it stands, Dario, the House was adjourned tomorrow to continue with business, but just before that, there was a huge drama in Parliament today from both the majority and the minority side. Now, shortly after the Deputy Majority Leader, Fenyo Makin, had made his presentation to conclude the 2021 budget statement, a question was put by the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Wusu, who at the time was in the Speaker's chair or seat. And so when you put the question, ideally by voice vote, the members of Parliament are asked to say aye or no. So the question was put, you could hear the ayes and later the noes. And according to the minority, the noes were louder than the ayes. So they were expecting the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Wise, to rule in their favor. But unfortunately for them, he ruled in favor of the NPP and indicated that the ayes have it. By extension, the budget has been approved. The Deputy Minority Leader, James Kluchavity, then stood his grounds to challenge the ruling of the Speaker and indicated that no, it is clear that the noes had it and not the ayes. So as they were going through that process, the Speaker himself, Aban Babin, walked into the chamber and assumed a seat. The Minority Leader then briefed the Speaker on what had happened, where they had come from to where they are at the moment. So the Speaker, after listening to them, now ruled that, well, I am going to grant your request for the head count to commence. And after the head count, we can now declare who has won, whether the budget has been approved or not. So the Speaker ruled that, okay, well, the minority is demanding for head count. Let's give it to them. Let's start the process. So quickly, the both ways from the minority and the majority side started preparing their people in line. Instead of calling their members, those who were in their offices, job system, they quickly had to rush into the chamber to be counted, because the rule was that all the members of Parliament should resume their seats. If your name is mentioned, you stand to be marked as present or counted. That is part of the voting process. So after a period of about 30 to an hour, the counting was done. And unfortunately, or fortunately for the minority, 3 of their members were not in the House. Benjamin Podo, Augustine Teria, and one other MP was not. Samuel Atamils, the commander, Edina Egwafuma Brim MP, Samuel Atamils, also not in the chamber. So the result or the outcome of the head count was NPP had obtained 137. So what it means is that all the members of Parliament from the NPP side were in the House. 3 members of the NDC were not. So the NDC obtained 134. The only person who was not in the House as well, who perhaps was there, would have voted in favor of the NPP, was the Fomena MP. But shortly after the voting, he walked into the chamber and the NPP were cheering him on. Now, of course, I mean, they've won already. But interestingly, the majority leader tells me that he before the head count, he had already counted the minority. And so he knew that they were going to win. And he was confident that they were going to win. There was no way that the budgets would be blocked by the minority because of their numbers in the House, even though there had been a backroom negotiation with the leaders of the minority, that yes, we agree, we admit that they have serious concerns and challenges with the budget statement. You've raised issues about timing of the introduction of the new taxes. We admit, we'll look at it. You've raised concerns about the fiscal deficit and that some numbers are missing from the budget statement. We agree, we work on that. So you come, register your protest on the floor, let the Hansard capture it, but you support the approval of the budget. That didn't happen. And so who was a bit disappointed and surprised that after all the backroom conversation with the leadership of the minority, this is what they did on the floor of the House.
And the majority having its way there. I just want you to clarify this for us. Is it the budget in its entirety that has been approved?
Not yet. It is the programs captured in the budget. So you know that the government says that they want to construct 8 district hospitals plus 7 regional hospitals. They want to introduce new taxes, including the road tolls and other things. They are talking about the Obatampa project for 3 years. So all the plans and programs captured in the budget have been approved by the House. Now, the other leg of it is the budget estimates. That will be before the House next week. Now, the estimate is about the funds earmarked for the programs or the projects which government has committed itself to in the year 2021. So let's talk about the 8 district hospitals. How much do you need for that? Even though we've approved, we agree that, yeah, go ahead and go and construct it. But how much do you need? Let's look at the numbers. Is it more? Is it less? Parliament will have to approve that. So now we are going to talk about money next week. So on that basis as well, Parliament will have to vote. That is if we have to get there. Or there will be a consensus to approve the budget estimate. So the statement, the policy programs and everything have been approved. Now we are waiting for the money as part of it. The money that would facilitate the realization of all the things that government has talked about in the budget.
And let's tell our audience what this essentially means, Parker. The fact that government's economic policy has been approved means that the taxes are really going to come at us, isn't it?
That is correct. It means that Parliament has given them the go-ahead to now introduce the taxes. Everything that they wanted to do, now they have the authority to quickly initiate it. Mind you, government says because of COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of things have happened to the economy. And so I'm sure by now already things are being put in place to quickly initiate the processes. And for the taxes already, we know the percentage and the increment. So many have done the cost analysis and everything that we need to do. So clearly, what it means is that the taxes, every Ghanaian should be ready to now pay the taxes as introduced by government in the 2021 budget.
Another big story you're following for us tonight in Parliament, the founder of Unibank, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, and former CEO of UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amwabeng, have petitioned Parliament over the Bank of Ghana's revocation of their banking license. They are asking the legislature to investigate the conduct of the Bank of Ghana in the takeover. Tell us more about what they are seeking.
Well, so, Dario, we do not have a preview to the real petition as submitted to the House. Now, we just got snippets of it, which was captured in the business statement for next week, that indeed the two have petitioned the House to investigate the conduct of Bank of Ghana vis-a-vis the revocation of their banking licenses. And I got a quick reaction from the majority leader. He's surprised and quite disappointed that in the first place, the Speaker would even admit a petition like that. In his own view, the two are seeking to pitch Parliament against the judiciary. And now you know that you've been following this case for a very long time, that the matter is still before courts, and courts are still dealing with the matter. And so if you bring the same matter that is before the courts to Parliament, then what are you seeking to do? So in his view, the Speaker should have blocked the petition. But however, he's been admitted, and he's raising concerns that what if Parliament makes a determination that, well, the revocation was wrong and that you need to restore their license, and the judiciary rule that, well, Bank of Ghana made the right decision by withdrawing your license. What then happens? A conflict between two arms of government. So he would have preferred that the matter would travel at full length at the judiciary, and perhaps if they are not satisfied, then maybe they can come to Parliament for Parliament to also investigate if the outcome may be different from that of the judiciary. So that is his position on that. But what we know for a fact is that on Monday, the matter will be before the House, members of the House, and then the Speaker will refer the matter to the Finance Committee. Then the Finance Committee will then commence with the investigations into the matter. That is if there is no opposition or resistance to the petition before the House.
We've got very interesting days ahead. Thank you so much. Kwesi Parker-Wilson is our parliamentary correspondent, bringing us up to speed on those two stories we're following for you from there. Now, the Bank of Ghana has announced a new set of minimum capital requirements for development finance institutions in the country. According to the regulator, up to 1.2 billion cedis will be needed, but that will depend on the kind of development finance business one wants to undertake. George Rafe has more.
The Bank of Ghana in the directive maintained that the amount will have a bit dependent on the kind of business that one wants to undertake. Based on the new license requirement, anyone that wants a Class 4 license, which is a combination of wholesale, retail and guarantee finance, may pay 1.2 billion Ghana cedis as the minimum capital requirement. Those that want to concentrate on wholesale and retail development we just need 1 billion Ghana cedis. 800 million Ghana cedis will be required as the minimum capital requirement for firms that want to restrict themselves to retail and guarantee development finance. Well, for just retail finance, one may need 600 million Ghana cedis. Guarantee only will require 300 million Ghana cedis. The Bank of Ghana in the directive noted that it may take up to 6 months to grant a full request for a development financial institution in Ghana. It, however, maintained that it may grant a provisional license subject to meeting some requirement within this period. This directive is coming after government announced that it will roll out the establishment of a national development bank before the first half of this year. It's however not clear for now what kind of license the government may be seeking to operate with respect to the National Development Bank.
Now, Ghana is expected to receive 2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in the next quarter from the United Kingdom. This is part of support from the UK government to facilitate the quick recovery of the Ghanaian economy. Now, speaking on PM Express Business Edition, UK High Commissioner to Ghana, Ian Walker, however, maintained that a mixture of stimulus package for businesses and vaccine rollout could do the trick in quickly stabilizing the economy.
Now through, we hope, to a different phase in the UK, which is that with so much of the vaccine kind of rolled out, with numbers now falling very, very significantly in terms of positive cases, we are now looking at opening up the economy. So as children are now back at school, we hope in the next kind of couple of weeks we'll start to see more retail open up and such like. So we've been in a much firmer lockdown than we've seen in Ghana, but we're now starting to see that opening up, and we hope and expect to see quite, I think, an extensive, I hope, economic recovery on the back of that. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the key for the UK and for all partners now, I think, is making sure that we must not take our eye off the ball. You know, vaccine rollout, whilst it's going well, has a very, very long way to go. And we want to make sure that we really do, you know, remove the kind of the challenges that COVID has presented to so many of us around the world.
The last time I spoke to you, you talked about the commitment of the UK government to this COVAX program. Ghana is not the only developing country that has made a request for this. But do I see another COVAX coming to Ghana where the UK government is part of that support? Or so this is just the last that we've got to, because there are a lot of countries out there who want this.
So the amount that's arrived already is 600,000. Yeah. But no, in the next kind of few weeks it'll be an extra million, 2 million, and that will rise to about, I think, about 6 million by the end
for Ghana?
of the, yes, for Ghana by the end of the year. And the same thing is happening, you know, just last week in Cote d'Ivoire. There was a similar kind of, arrival of vaccine there. We're seeing it in Senegal. We're seeing it all over the world now, as COVAX is now starting to kind of roll out. So, no, it's not just about Ghana, but Ghana was importantly the first in the world, and I think that's a real testament to the Ghana Health Service, to the Minister of Health, and so many others for getting such a good plan in place early, and by kind of establishing that plan, establishing that sense of grip, then they were able to kind of present to COVAX what that plan was, and they were able to then get that.
Well, taking you to the Ashanti region, where some residents at Kumasi have been reacting to news that they have to pay for the free water and electricity they enjoyed during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Government in 2020 announced a free utility package for the vulnerable to lessen the burden from the pandemic. Now, according to Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah, the 1% COVID-19 tax announced in the 2021 budget is to pay back the freebies. Here is reaction to the new tax measure.
Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah in an interview indicated that Ghanaians will have to pay for the free provision of water and electricity that was provided by government in 2020. But how do Ghanaians feel about government's decision?
From the onset, I knew very well that the government had something bad under his sleeves, and he didn't tell us. What do we see? What do we hear today? They are now telling us we should pay for the free water and the free electricity they gave us. How much did we use? This is very bad. This is like robbing Peter to pay his brother John. We will be in this country and they will tell us we should pay for the free SHS. Whether you had a sister or your brother enjoying it or not.
Yet your baby, you're 2 years old at that. Yet you can have baby means you. A baby electricity. Since as I task no more bano, ye better than you who say, you using prepare pen or moment and answer on the Biaka.
We were already paying for water and electricity. We didn't ask for the provision of free water and electricity.
Light in the uses Casay. Casano, Sicasa no more yet, a year fruit. Obitin baby was much usu. I feel there was some debate at Tassim word to your Obismount. See na COVID na bana ndwuma yin egu ndwuma yin nko ye hwe obayi mranche dominate mu ayeto afi na wo san beto tax.
The government should reduce taxes, not increase it.
Budget so mranche mu adwuma ye mu magi sika mu yese what I say
concerning the free water and then electricity. I don't think what the government is doing is all right, because if you know we are going to pay it back, why don't you alert us first before you give someone something and you say that thing is free? That means there is no cost for that. So I don't know what this government is doing at all.
Why not? I was here.
We will pay the new tax if government wants us to pay for it.
I can't say panier by us. We young, and they're doing a short. I have a cocoa. Oh, I dare be Ghana young Shesani and Manu ye. Says a Bibi Bana say ye free, and yet the money free, any pana or and yes, say be you or Ginny in Nipana.
So the government says the introduction of the new tax on free water and electricity is going to help grow back the economy. Anita Sewa Ajogan report.
All right, you're watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you about the countdown to the 2021 Population and Housing Census. There's more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Business Live. The Ghana Statistical Service has indicated that all arrangements for enumeration in the 2021 Population and Housing Census have been completed. Speaking at an event to mark the 100 days to Census Night, Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobnenim said the necessary preparations have been made and they are ready to begin the main exercise this year. More in this report.
All is set for the 2021 Population and Housing Census, which is part of the United Nations Convention for member countries after every 10 years. Even though all the needed resources were provided for the exercise last year, the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic forced the Ghana Statistical Service to postpone the exercise to this year. According to government statistician Professor Samuel Kobnenim, one of the major hurdles, which includes geographical mapping, has been completed.
2 years ago, we started the demarcation exercise. His Excellency, to date, Ghana Statistical Service is proud to provide you with information on the geography of Ghana beyond the 16 administrative regions that we know and the 260 administrative districts, and for that matter, the 275 constituencies which the Statistical Service Act mandates us for the first time to count at that level. Two other information that we want to share with you is that currently the localities that we have in the country is 131,739. His Excellency, from our point of view, this is the basis for decision making.
To officially launch the event, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia disclosed that this year's program, which is digitally driven, will be the beginning of an enhanced data harmonization process for some 7 ECOWAS countries on the African continent.
The population and housing census of 2021 will also see us implement for the first time data linking technology that is intended to harmonize and improve statistics in the sub-region. The implementation of the Harmonizing and Improving Statistics in West Africa project is intended to ensure efficient data production through cooperation and partnership with national statistical offices of 7 West African countries, as well as 20 MDAs.
The 100 Days to the Census Night is part of the advocacy programs earmarked by the Ghana Statistical Service before the main enumeration day, which falls on the 27th of June.
All right, and that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwao. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Do enjoy your weekend. We're leaving you with some money tips on Money Lab.
On Money Lab today, we are rounding up on the insurance class, the basics we have been learning. Many people get very disappointed because the expectations of the earnings, supposedly in quote, or the coverage or whatever insurance policy they took is not as they expected. Please know that insurance is not investments, so to speak. That insurance policy you bought is not the same as that investment product you bought. In an investment product and a scenario, whatever you buy gives you the option of 3 different instances. Instance 1 is the money remains the same. Instance 2 is that maybe it falls below the principal. Instance 3, it rises above the funds you put there. In insurance, it is only just 2 different scenarios. Either a bad event that you are insuring against happens or nothing happens at all. But in insurance, if that bad incident does not happen, you don't expect to receive anything. Unless in some policies for diversification and for innovation's sake, they partner with some insurance companies and some other financial parties that will probably recoup or pay back some little amount. But you don't compare that to your investment account. So know the next time you insure that insurance is not the same as investment.